They want to marry you so fast. Not next year. Not someday. Not when everything is perfect. Fast. And what heaven just revealed about the reason behind this is something you were never supposed to discover this early. Before we begin, I need you to pay very close attention, because this message is not for everyone. If you clicked on this video by accident, you may not understand what you're about to hear. But if you've been feeling a strange shift lately, if you've noticed people watching you differently, if you've felt like something powerful is moving behind the scenes, then this message may explain everything. And the most shocking part? The person connected to this revelation may already be in your life. Stay until the end, because what heaven revealed about their true intentions is far bigger than romance. Much bigger. In fact, the desire to marry you quickly has almost nothing to do with what you think. And once you understand why, you will never look at your situation the same way again. Take a deep breath, because we're restarting now. There is a reason some people enter your life slowly, and there is a reason others appear suddenly. Like a storm. No warning. No preparation. No logical explanation. One day they are strangers. The next day they are speaking about commitment, talking about the future, making plans, moving faster than anyone expected, and everyone around them is confused, even you. But heaven says something important. When a divine connection appears, time behaves differently. What normally takes years can happen in months. What usually develops slowly can suddenly accelerate, because some destinies are not created on earth. They are activated on earth, and that changes everything. The person connected to this message feels something they cannot explain. Every logical part of them is trying to understand why they feel pulled toward you, but logic keeps failing. Because this attraction isn't operating through logic. It's operating through purpose. Heaven revealed that they sense something in you. Something rare. Something powerful. Something they have searched for without realizing it. And when they found it, their spirit recognized it before their mind did. That recognition changed everything. Suddenly they started imagining a future. Suddenly they started thinking long term. Suddenly they began seeing possibilities they had never considered before. And it scared them, because they weren't planning this. They weren't expecting this. Yet here they are, thinking about commitment, thinking about permanence, thinking about marriage, and wondering why the feeling keeps getting stronger. But the revelation gets deeper, much deeper, because heaven showed that this isn't only about what you bring emotionally, it's about what you carry spiritually. There is a gift on your life, a favor, a light, a unique energy. Call it what you want, but people feel it, even when they don't understand it. You've probably noticed this before. People tell you things they don't tell anyone else. Strangers trust you. Conversations become deeper around you. People feel comfortable in your presence. And you never fully understood why. The reason is simple. Heaven placed something valuable inside you. Something that cannot be purchased. Something that cannot be copied. Something that cannot be faked. And certain people are naturally drawn toward it. The person connected to this message is one of those people. They feel peace around you. A peace they haven't found elsewhere. And once they experience that peace, they didn't want to lose it. That's when everything changed. That's when the thoughts of marriage began. But wait, because what heaven revealed next is absolutely shocking. There is another reason they want to move quickly. A reason nobody around you can see. Not yet. You see, they have been through things they rarely discuss. Disappointments, betrayals, broken promises, false beginnings, moments that left scars deeper than they admit. Those experiences taught them to protect themselves, to build walls, to stay cautious, to trust slowly. Yet somehow, those walls started collapsing around you. Not because you forced them, not because you chased them, not because you convinced them, but because your presence made those walls unnecessary. And that terrified them, because when someone who never trusts suddenly trusts, the feeling can be overwhelming. It creates urgency. It creates clarity. It creates a desire to hold on to what they have found before life takes it away. That's why the connection feels accelerated. That's why things feel unusually intense. That's why the desire for commitment appears so quickly. But heaven says there is still another layer, a hidden layer. And this is where things become truly extraordinary. The person connected to this message has been praying for something. Maybe not with words, maybe not on their knees, but deep inside. They have been asking for help, asking for direction, asking for answers, asking for someone real. And heaven heard those requests, long before they met you, long before your paths crossed. Long before either of you understood what was happening. Preparation had already begun. Doors were already moving. Circumstances were already shifting. Pieces were already being arranged. And then, at the right moment, you appeared. What looked like coincidence was not coincidence. What looked random was not random. What looked ordinary was not ordinary. There was purpose behind it, design behind it, intention behind it, and now they are beginning to realize it, which is why the feeling grows stronger every day. But stay with me, because heaven revealed one final reason, and this may be the most powerful revelation of all. The reason they want to marry you quickly is because they can see a future version of themselves when they are with you. Think about that. Most people enter relationships hoping to avoid loneliness. But this person sees something bigger. They see growth. They see healing. They see possibility. They see expansion. They see the version of themselves they have always wanted to become. And somehow, you are connected to that vision. Your presence inspires something inside them. It awakens ambition. It awakens courage. It awakens faith. It awakens hope. The future suddenly looks brighter, clearer, more achievable. And once someone experiences that feeling, they don't want to let it go. That is why the urgency exists. That is why commitment feels important. That is why marriage enters the conversation. Because they are not just falling in love with who you are. They are falling in love with who they become around you. And heaven says that realization is changing everything. Now listen carefully, because this next part matters. Not every fast, moving connection is meant to be trusted. Not every intense feeling is divine. Not every promise leads to purpose. Wisdom is still necessary. Discernment is still necessary. Patience is still necessary. Heaven never asks you to abandon wisdom. Never. But heaven does ask you to pay attention. Pay attention to peace. Pay attention to consistency. Pay attention to character. Pay attention to actions. Because actions reveal what words try to hide. And the truth always leaves evidence. Always. If this connection is real, it will continue proving itself. If it is genuine, it will continue growing stronger. If it is aligned, it will continue producing peace. Not confusion. Not manipulation. Not chaos. Peace. Because heaven's fingerprints leave peace. Remember that. The revelation wasn't given to create fear. It was given to create awareness. Awareness of what is unfolding. Awareness of what is approaching. Awareness of what may already be standing directly in front of you. The person connected to this message feels a pull they cannot explain, a certainty they cannot ignore, a desire they cannot silence. And according to heaven, the reason behind it is far greater than appearance, far greater than attraction, far greater than chemistry. It is connected to purpose, connected to destiny, connected to something that began long before either of you understood it. So if things have been moving faster than expected, if conversations have become more serious than expected, if commitment keeps appearing unexpectedly, don't ignore it. Observe it. Pray about it. Think carefully about it. Because heaven just revealed that the speed isn't the mystery. The reason behind the speed is the mystery. And now, you know why. Someone sees something in you that they cannot find anywhere else. Someone recognizes a light that stands out from the crowd. Someone feels peace when they are near you. Someone sees a future they never thought was possible. And that realization has created urgency. An urgency powerful enough to make them think about forever. Much sooner than anyone expected. The story is still unfolding. The answers are still arriving. The pieces are still moving. But heaven says one thing is already clear. What is happening is not as random as it appears. Not even close. And the truth behind it has only just begun to reveal itself. Now listen carefully, because what heaven revealed next changes everything. Up to this point, you may have been thinking this message was simply about love, about attraction, about marriage, about two people finding each other. But heaven says that is only the surface. The real revelation goes much deeper. And if you leave this video before hearing it, you may miss the most important part. Because the person who wants to marry you so quickly is not reacting only to who you are today. They are reacting to something they sense is coming. Something approaching your life. Something that has not fully arrived yet. And this is where the mystery becomes impossible to ignore. Heaven revealed that certain people can feel change before they see it. They cannot explain it. They cannot prove it. But they sense it. Like feeling thunder before the storm arrives. Like feeling sunrise before the first light appears. They know something is changing. Even when there is no visible evidence. The person connected to this message feels that way about you. They sense that your life is entering a new season. A season unlike anything you've experienced before. And whether they realize it or not, they want to be part of it. That is one reason their feelings seem so urgent. Because deep down, they know they are standing at the edge of something significant. But heaven wasn't finished. Not even close. Because another revelation appeared. And this one shocked me. Heaven showed that there are people around you who underestimated you. people who misjudged you, people who looked at your current circumstances and assumed that was your final destination. They saw your struggles, your delays, your disappointments, and they made conclusions, wrong conclusions. They thought they had you figured out. They thought they knew your limits. They thought your story was already written. But heaven says they were looking at a chapter, not the entire book. And that's why they missed what was coming. The person who wants to marry you sees something different. They don't just see where you've been. They see where you're going. And that vision is affecting them more than they realize. Because when someone can see potential clearly, they often become protective of it. They value it. They respect it. They want to remain close to it. And sometimes, they want to build a future around it. That is exactly what is happening. But wait, because the next revelation may explain strange events you've experienced recently. Have you noticed that certain people seem unusually curious about your life lately? Have you noticed unexpected attention? Unexpected conversations? Unexpected interest? It may have seemed random, but heaven says it isn't. Energy shifts before circumstances shift. People feel changes before they understand them. And right now, something around your life is changing. Doors that remained closed for years are beginning to loosen. Opportunities are quietly approaching. Connections are being arranged. Lessons are ending. New chapters are beginning. And some people can feel it. The person connected to this message is one of them. That is why they seem drawn toward you. That is why their emotions seem stronger than expected. That is why marriage enters their mind sooner than logic would normally allow. Because they are responding to what their spirit senses, not merely what their eyes see. And heaven says there is something else. Something very few people know. The strongest relationships are not built during perfect seasons. They are built during transition seasons. Moments when everything is changing. Moments when old doors are closing. Moments when new opportunities are emerging. Moments when life is being reshaped. That is the season you are entering. And the person connected to this message feels it. They may not have the words. They may not understand the details. But they feel it. And because they feel it, they are moving faster than expected. Now here comes the revelation that stopped me completely. Heaven showed that this person has been fighting an internal battle. A battle between fear and faith. One side of them says, slow down, be careful, protect yourself, don't risk disappointment. But another side says, move forward, trust the connection, trust what you're feeling, trust what heaven is showing you. And every day, the second voice grows stronger. That is why their behavior may seem unusual. That is why their feelings continue intensifying. That is why they keep imagining a future with you. Because something inside them is changing. Something inside them is awakening. And heaven says the process is accelerating. But don't misunderstand this message. This does not mean every challenge disappears. It does not mean every obstacle vanishes overnight. In fact, some obstacles may still appear, because every meaningful connection gets tested. Every meaningful connection faces moments of uncertainty. Every meaningful connection requires courage. The difference is this: temporary obstacles cannot stop permanent purpose. Read that again. Temporary obstacles cannot stop permanent purpose. And heaven wants you to remember that. Because there may be moments when things don't make sense. Moments when progress seems slow. Moments when communication becomes difficult. Moments when doubt appears. Do not judge the entire story by a single chapter. The story is bigger than the chapter. The purpose is bigger than the obstacle. The destination is bigger than the delay. And heaven says that truth is about to become very important. Now let's go deeper. Because the next revelation may be the most personal one yet. The person connected to this message is not only thinking about marriage. They are imagining partnership. Real partnership. Building together. Growing together. Winning together. Facing challenges together. Creating something meaningful together. That vision keeps returning to their mind. Again. And again. And again. No matter how hard they try to ignore it. No matter how hard they try to stay logical. No matter how hard they try to explain it away. The vision remains. And heaven says there is a reason. Some people enter your life to teach lessons. Some enter your life to create memories. Some enter your life to create pain. But a rare few enter your life to help fulfill purpose. Those connections feel different. They carry different weight, different intensity, different significance. And that difference is exactly what this person is experiencing. Now pay attention. Because the next few moments may explain why this message found you today. Not yesterday. Not last week. Today. Heaven revealed that timing matters. Every revelation arrives at the moment it is needed. Not before. Not after. And if you re-hearing this right now, there is a reason. A reason connected to preparation. A reason connected to awareness. A reason connected to what comes next. Because the season ahead may move faster than expected. Faster opportunities. Faster decisions. Faster changes. Faster answers. And heaven wants you ready. Not fearful. Ready. Not anxious. Ready. Not confused. Ready. Because preparation creates confidence. And confidence creates peace. The person connected to this message feels urgency. But heaven wants you to feel wisdom. The person connected to this message feels emotion. But heaven wants you to maintain clarity. The person connected to this message feels excitement. But heaven wants you to stay grounded. That balance is important. Very important. Because when emotion and wisdom work together, powerful things happen. Life-changing things happen. Destiny, moving things happen. And according to heaven, you are standing much closer to that moment than you realize. The story is not ending. It is only beginning. The hidden pieces are still being revealed. The unseen doors are still opening. The unanswered questions are still receiving answers. And the person who wants to marry you so quickly may soon understand that the feeling pulling them toward you was never random, never accidental, never meaningless. It was connected to something larger, something higher. Something heaven had been arranging long before either of you understood what was happening.